Hello, everyone. Seriously, why am I the only one smart enough to think of these things? Now, that is, of course, hyperbole. I'm not the only one smart enough, but why am I one of the very few, if only one, taking to the airwaves and talking about this stuff? Talking about what? Return to nuclear energy. It's safer more than ever. These aren't the 1970s. These aren't your grandpa's nuclear power plants anymore. We can do them much safer now, much bigger, much stronger, much safer, provide much energy, clean energy for next to little amounts of money. Oh, before I get into that, let me go back to spending. We have got to cut spending. We're going to need to reduce spending, but that doesn't mean we're going to eliminate the deficit overnight. Why? Because we need to spend on other things like a real infrastructure bill, not the fake one, the money laundering operation to green scams that the Biden, the communist, Tim A. Walls, and other leftards put into place during the Biden administration. A real infrastructure bill, like hardening and beefing up our electrical grid. We're going to have to spend money on that, but cut spending elsewhere to free up the funds to do that. That brings me back to nuclear energy. It's a national security issue as well as energy policy issue. And AI, right? All the data centers are gonna need far more energy than more blah 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 blah. Okay, here's a simple idea. Why isn't there a massive nuclear power generation plant in the middle of Death Valley, where not a whole lot's going on? And then massive energy, the high tension power line grid infrastructure put in so that all states west of the Mississippi can get power to the power companies at a cheap wholesale rate. Hey, how about the federal government under Department of Energy and Department of Defense and Department of Commerce for the AI stuff, since it's a national security issue, partner with an electric company that's ready to build a nuclear plant and waive the permits, waive all the BS, and actually the federal government fund it so that we get a nuclear tower reactor up and online within 3 years. I'd prefer two, but at least before the end of Trump's term, and then plans for a second and a third reactor to come online within the next 2 years, and then another two or three to come online within the next 5 years to feed power wholesale rates to the energy companies who can then do a small markup, bringing the price of all our energy down, and we'll have plenty of electricity for all the AI and everything else, and all you leftards electric cars and you pretend they're green. That takes so much energy going into creating them. And this poisonous batteries that need a Yucca Mountain uh, special disposal place, because they can't go into just any landfill. These lithium batteries, they need special disposal, just like the nuclear spent rods that you kept trying to block Yucca Mountain being used for nuclear power. Open it up for both the nuclear rods as well as all your wind and solar and electric car battery nonsense that's toxic can't go into a general landfill. So we need that by the federal government to be done to help out. And what about east of the Mississippi? Likewise, Same thing. Bring a nuclear reactor online within 3 years east of the Mississippi to provide wholesale rate electricity to all the power companies east of the Mississippi, where, I don't know, the middle of the Everglades seems pretty safe to put one. There are all kinds of federal cordoned off lands east of the Mississippi, too, far more west of the Mississippi, of course, makes it a lot easier, but places east of the Mississippi, now, really far south in Florida like that makes it harder to distribute the power. So it would be better if it were in a Kentucky, West Virginia, maybe even Oklahoma, some other state a little, more centrally located east of the Mississippi to send all that power out to all the states east of the Mississippi. This isn't rocket science. This is simple stuff. This is simple stuff. Why am I the only one talking about it, though? Why? Where are you people with brain cells that function? And clearly far more in the know and in the power base, the power structure of the country than I and little old me on Constitutionalist podcast. The reach I have, you all have bigger reach. What the hell are you doing? Besides little stupid stuff that you're putting money in your own pockets, zero regard for national security, national energy policy, national considerations, our economic power, our economic strength, our ability to do anything and everything could be solved in 3, 5, 8, a decade at least, period of time. Not the wind and solar moronic bull, green money laundering, climate change scammery garbage of you leftist idiots. Simple stuff. But we can't wait. You can't sit around and wait. This needs to have been done yesterday, not tomorrow, not today. It should have been done yesterday. We got to start today. Today, we don't have time. Time is running out. We must stop the left from destroying this country. Our economic power, our social influence power, our military power, everything. The left, cultural, Marxist, commie, fascist, sociocrats, destroying, tearing down. Wake up. Get involved. At the very least, I'm not even asking you to leave your couch to like, share, subscribe this, right? Like it, share it. It takes you 2 seconds to do that to your entire email list or across all your social media devices on your social media platforms. Can you do that? Right? I like to joke the ugly couch right behind the green. Don't get your ass off the couch even. Share. Share. Can you not even do that? Are you that incompetent or that lazy that you can't even do that to try to make policy in this nation more intelligent? Oh, okay. Apologies again. You got more Region Joe again rather than PG Constitutionalist Podcast Joe instead. Anyway, thank you all. Take care. God bless. Love you all. Can we get going? Do something. Voting ain't enough. Oh, I voted. I did my part. I voted. No, you didn't do squat. Just voting. Do more.